Yes, sir. We're officially back at it. Boog Nice coming at you with another top something or other. This time, going to be taking a look at my top 10 most anticipated Marvel Legends of 2022. All right, let's do it.
This ain't for no scalper. You a scalper? Then fuck out shit. This one's for them real collectors. That's army building and posing figures. Marvel Legends, imports, mini matey, I'm fucking with them. Hype beast, we know about you. Stay buying figs, don't know about it.
Coming in at number 10 is Captain America. We all know that the 80th anniversary Captain America is fire. And yes, this is essentially just a redeco of that figure in a lighter, more classic comic book colorway, but this will be essential to a lot of display options in terms of teams and face-offs with villains already produced and others slated for 2022 releases. We saw the Armadillo Build-A-Figure in 2021, who made his first appearance in a Captain America comic book in which Steve's deco was pretty much identical to the upcoming Legends version. The thing is that the 80th anniversary Captain America is crazy money on the secondary market right now, and this will give collectors another cheaper shot at a centrical figure in the Marvel Universe with a comic accurate uniform and all the bells and whistles in terms of accessories for proper ACBA displays. The release of this figure is also a huge milestone for Marvel Legends as he marks and celebrates the 20th year anniversary of the Marvel Legends line. The unmasked head sculpt done by the very talented Paul Harding, who we know is working diligently on several other sculpts based on his Marvel in the 70s series, is money. Cap, Iron Man, and Hulk's head sculpts from this series were all done by Paul, and if the designs from his series are any indication of things to come, we are in store for quite a few more new head sculpts for classic characters from Paul. I suspect Punisher, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, and Team X Wolverine are on the way. That brings me right into number 9, which is the Walgreens / GameStop Canada exclusive Baron Zemo. The theme at Walgreens and GameStop in Canada in 2021 was cosmic characters. This year, it'll be villains. We are long overdue for a classic comic book look for Baron Zemo, and this looks very good. Remember those face-offs possible for Captain America I mentioned a minute ago? Well, this will allow you the option of pitting Captain America against one of his greatest foes on what looks like a newer base buck introduced in the Zimnu Build-A-Figure wave on Dormammu and Red Skull, which ironically is probably Captain America's greatest foe. Personally, I still don't have all of the Walgreens exclusives from 2021, so this might not be easy to come by, and that's why you should take heed and start mapping out a strategy now to acquire this figure. I suspect Hasbro will start rounding out Thunderbolts teams. I bet Atlas is coming at some point once they introduce a new, larger shapeshifter buck that can be utilized by characters like Classic Goliath, Bill Forster Goliath, and dude that's part of the Imperial Guard. I forget his name. Something will be popping up here. Or maybe those characters might be part of an upcoming HasLab project. And speaking of HasLab and bigger figures, number 8 is the HasLab Galactus. Now, I'd be lying if I didn't mention that the HasLab Sentinel was a bit of a letdown in terms of engineering and QC, but I have yet to scratch the surface of display ideas with the 3 I purchased, and that is still driving the appeal of that figure for me personally. Still a lot of fun factor despite the hiccups. I'm looking forward to Galactus based on some of the same appeal. The Frankie Ray Nova and Morg figures, 2 we've never seen in the life of the Marvel Legends line, if truly exclusive to this release, makes him even that much more special. I'm a little angsty but optimistic about them correcting the mistakes made with the Sentinel with Galactus in terms of engineering. You know, with me, it's all about displaying, and I'm very eager to display with this figure, especially as it relates to multi-scale displays or MSDs. I suspect we will see the rest of Galactus's heralds in 2022. There's big potential for a great centerpiece display with the Devourer of Worlds and his past and present minions. Coming in at number 7, I'm going with the Bone Breaker Build-A-Figure Wave Maggot, which just looks amazing to me. I think AOA Sabretooth was one of the best Marvel Legends in 2021. Spoiler alert, I'm pretty sure he's in my top 10 Marvel Legends of 2021. And Maggot is on the same buck as Sabretooth, so I think they got his height, build, stature correct picking that buck for Maggot. The 2 little slug accessories look great, and the fact that this is another first-time figure in the life of the Marvel Legends line is a big draw. His affiliations and proximity to other characters we've yet to see see in figure form, like Celia Reyes and members of Generation X, is probably an indication of figures to come. I distinctly remember Marrow being prominently featured in the X-Men books around the time Maggot was introduced, so she may be on the way as well. I promise you this guy will be expensive on the secondary market if you miss out on him once this wave starts to dry up at retail. So again, map out a strategy, don't snooze on picking him up, and possibly pick up doubles. Number 6 is going to be Null, the god of darkness and the creator of the symbiotes, who has created quite a stir in the comics over the past 2 years, battling a lot of heroes we know and love. Pretty cool that Donny Cates, who co-created the character with Ryan Stegman, appeared on the live stream to reveal this figure during Hasbro PostCon 2021. A figure I predicted would come out and had on a short list of most wanted Marvel Legends figures. I'm eager to see how he actually turns out, as we've only seen a render so far and exactly where in the line he shows up. ACBA is all about drawing inspiration for displaying directly from the source material, so my recommendation to you in preparation for ideas for setups is to read Silver Surfer Black, Empire's End, and The King in Black, which should give you some insight into who may show up in figure form alongside Null or directly following him. Those potential releases, like an updated modern Thor, a comic-based Venom on the post-con Venom Buck, and possibly Dylan, the son of Eddie Brock, who played a central role in the King in Black storyline. Null is a must-own, so do your research and get excited about this release so you're fully prepared once class is in session and ACBA and in the grind. Number 5 is the retro-carded black suit Spider-Man, which has already begun showing up in the East and in the UK, I believe. Like Captain America, this is essentially a redeco of the retro-carded classic suit Spider-Man on the newest superposable buck. The draw here is the all-black costume, makes for a cleaner look, as those pesky off-colored pegs we experienced on his predecessor are null and void with the all-black deco. This makes the Sandman Build-A-Figure Wave black suit Spider-Man pretty much obsolete, as we patiently wait for a pinless version of this buck and do-overs for all the Spidey costumes. The Ben Reilly Spidey is already getting an update as part of this same series. Display-wise, this figure can also double as your Dark Avengers Mac Gargan Spider-Man, especially considering the bulkier, more muscular look of this buck, but he makes for a regular back in black, non-symbiote bonded Peter Parker Spider-Man 2. As you guys know, Spider-Man is my favorite character, so this is a must-own for me. Number 4 is the Bone Breaker Build-A-Figure Wave Vulcan. 3 reasons this figure is important is 1, he marks the end of the Bucky Cap mold era, ushering in the Vulcan mold era, as this is a brand new, medium build, pinless, butterfly jointed standard buck that will serve us for the foreseeable future. 2, Vulcan is a central figure in some huge comic book stories I always champion, like Deadly Genesis, Uncanny X-Men's Rise and Fall of the Shi'ar Empire, X-Men Kingbreaker, and War of Kings. Also, he's part of the new mutant hierarchy after the events of another story I continuously recommend, House and Powers of X, or House and Powers of 10. 3rd, all those stories and all those interactions with characters, some we already have in figure form, and others that will probably show up for the first time in the Marvel Legends line, like Deathbird and a full figure of Lilandra, makes him very important to the line. I suspect that the Inhumans are also on the way. No doubt in my mind we will get a Gorgon figure utilizing the lower legs of the upcoming Ventra Build-A-Figure. That means Lockjaw is coming at some point, and somewhere down the line we might even complete a Pet Avengers squad. Throg was a character Donny Cates even mentioned he'd like to see in figure form during the Hasbro PostCon stream. And remember, we saw Throg briefly in the Loki Disney Plus show. But anyway, some easy, cool kit bash options for this immensely powerful Omega level mutant really piques my interest. Hopefully, we'll see updated, modern versions of his 2 brothers on this new buck too. You'll need him if you want to complete the Bone Breaker Build-A-Figure. My number 3 most anticipated Marvel Legend of 2022 is going to be the Walmart exclusive classic Doctor Strange figure, which is near and dear to my heart because I was afforded the opportunity to unveil and review this figure months before its official release date. Thank you, Hasbro. In fact, this is the 3rd influencer revealed figure on my list. Captain America was revealed by Unparalleled Universe and Black Suit Spider-Man by Jess J. Hernandez. But yeah, classic Classic Doctor Strange, all the accessories you'd want except maybe an astral projected translucent kind of pack-in, which I'm sure we'll get at some point, but this figure is essential to so many teams. Defenders, Illuminati, New Avengers, etc. So many eras throughout comic history, and 2 phenomenal head sculpts done by Paul Harding. Recently, we saw the reveal of our very first upcoming MCU Wong. Hopefully, a comic-based superposable Wong will follow Doctor Strange. This may be another tough one to get, so start planning and make friends with someone in the community with access to a Walmart. Number 2 is going to be the Bonebreaker Build-A-Figure. This thing just looks great and like he will be so much fun to display with. Another first-timer in the life of the Marvel Legends line, a key member of the Reavers team we've been trying to complete for a few years now. This guy showing up means Pretty Boy, a character Dwight specifically mentioned as one he'd like to make in an interview I conducted with the team some months ago, shouldn't be far behind. Go back and get Skullbuster. Multiples as soon as possible. The rest of the Reavers are imminent. Outback Colossus, this version of Rogue, and Longshot are also on the way. I'm sure that Bonebreaker will be in many people's top 10 lists this time next year, no doubt about it. And my number 1 most anticipated Marvel Legends figure of 2022, the figure I cannot wait to own, the figure that is long overdue for a redo, as the last version is hideous, one of the top 5 costumes for this character, and a release that has to set up the release of another favorite look of mine for a character directly related to this character and this specific look I'm about to mention that debuted in the comics during a time when some of my favorite artwork from one of my favorite artists really put a spotlight on this look. You guessed it, another Spider-Man. I just told you Spidey was my guy. So the Marvel Legends Iron Spider must be mine. I'd love to see a new Peter Parker head sculpt packed in with this figure, as this was introduced right before Civil War, and during Civil War we saw Peter Parker unmask and reveal his identity to the world, which was such an iconic moment in comics history. Steve McNiven's art during this series is just stellar. This is a time when Iron Man and Spider-Man were cool, and then they weren't, as things went downhill really fast once Bill Foster Goliath was killed by clone Thor, a figure we will also see this year. But Iron Man and his extremist armor, which he was rocking during his time, can't be far behind. This figure can also double as the trio of clones that rocked versions of this armor during the 50 State Initiative. Although those dudes have 4 arms built into their suits, but yeah, the arms, golden, comic accurate, removable, and articulated, really set this off. Patiently waiting for how, when, and exactly where this figure will show up. So 2022 is going to be a big year for Marvel Legends, probably bigger than 2021. You guys let me know in the comments below what figures you're looking forward to. Let's talk about it. Let's get the discussion going. Don't forget to hit the like button. Let's get the visibility of this video high, and I'll be back tomorrow with another top something or other. All right, thanks for hanging out. Peace.
I'm in the game, I'm grinding. I got to play 24 hours in a day, 7 days out the week. I never sleep. I'm on my grizzly bear, 52 weeks out the year. Yeah.